Okay, so with budget, it's important that well, it's important that companies and any type of organization or anything, it's important that they stay within their budget. And well, yeah, you because I'm doing a documentary, it's important that documentaries stay within a budget. But overall, as a general standpoint in anything, it's important to stay within a budget. Because if you don't, it can then have a domino effect on other areas that you need money to then spread towards. So, because I'm doing a documentary, or even if you're looking at a film standpoint, if you spend too much money in one area, it could then potentially affect, for example, the footage. So the quality of the footage may be lower because they've had to buy a different camera now because they spent too much money in a particular area. So now the quality of the footage will be lower than they first expected. Also, maybe the location. They may have had to now change their location because they can't pay for a certain location that they had to pay for. So now they've had to change the location, which could then end up changing the script or how actions are performed, which overall then just they would have to go back and then fix the script as well, which is a long process as well. So it does delay time as well in the production of something, which then costs money as well. Also, props. They may have to then use less props because they can't pay for the amount that they were originally going to, which can then also change the script as well. But it can be minor as well. But yeah, overall, yeah, staying in the budget is really important because you don't because it could have a general overall it will have a general overall effect on the final product, and if you have an effect on the final product in a negative way, you then lose audience because obviously you are producing something at a high standard, and then if you were potentially thinking about having a sequel, you then stop the sequel essentially from happening because you produce a poor film or short film or documentary, whatever it is, you then performed a bad version. So you can't. So for film, you can't then create a sequel. If it's for a documentary, people then won't rely on you to then be part of another production team to then produce a good documentary on another subject. Obviously, companies can then get investment from other companies that are helping with the production in any type of way. But if you're getting investments from another company, they would then expect to see the previous targets then increased. So they may be expecting higher profits, higher ticket sales, maybe higher views in advertisement, maybe does merchandise as well, higher selling merchandise. So they would expect that with you ask for more money, you would expect to then produce something that's much better than originally thought of. With my production, I already have all the equipment I need from because I bought in the past, and I've used it for many other projects like this camera, the Sony DSC HX300. It costs around £270, I think, but I've had it for around 3 or 4 years, and I've got a lot of use out of it from producing other videos, and taking photos and stuff like that. And I've relied on it a lot, and it's helped me get through. And I think it's a good enough quality to produce this. But yeah, so all the equipment I've had for a little while. I'm really used to it. I don't have to think about borrowing any of it from other people or from my school. Because if I have to borrow it, then if I use it for a certain time and then go back to use it again, I may not get the same camera, and that may not be as good of a quality, or so I may be using the camera I need and then I can't use it and then I can't film what I need, which could then affect me in the long run because then I can't actually film anything on that day. But having all the equipment, my own personal equipment, I can use it whenever I want. I don't have to worry about someone else taking it. But yeah, I already mentioned the Sony DSC HX300, and that's added on to it. It has a good zoom on it. As I said, you can take pictures on it. It has an inbuilt microphone, so I don't have to buy a microphone or use one because there's already an inbuilt one which is loud enough. And obviously, if the footage isn't loud enough, I can always turn up in post production. But yeah, I say the camera's really good. I've used it for music videos and other stuff I've filmed before, so I know what to expect from it. So yeah, I'd say it's a good quality, and I've already used it for the footage that I've already recorded, archive footage. That will be in the trailer. Also, the tripod. I've had that for a couple of years now as well. I like it a lot. It's a good quality. Obviously, I'm gonna use it to make sure all my interviews are steady, so the camera isn't shaking. Also, you could extend the legs on it for 2 levels, so you can change the height. You could move it as well. It's pretty good. I've had it for a couple of years now. I've relied on it a lot, and it's really good. It's not unsteady or anything. It's what you expect from a tripod, and I could also use it for movement shots as well by just holding it by the side. So it has another use in a way. It cost me around £40, but it's a good price for something that will last a long time. A steady cam is also what I have, which is more for the movement shots, which I've used in the music videos I've produced. But yeah, they're just for the moving shots. I guess if I want to add in some moving shots as well, that I want a video in case I'm in the studio with Jordan or at home or anything that I feel is relevant, and I'll go well towards the trailer. But yeah, I've had it for, I haven't had this for as long, I've had it for a few months, but I've liked it a lot already. It's not obviously at the highest quality of Steadicam, but it's a good quality for me to use and get used to, and then hopefully go into the next level up. But yeah, it's at good quality, and that cost me around £40 as well. But yeah, I really like it, and I could get good use out of it. The light is a backup essentially if well, it's a precaution in case the lighting in certain interviews isn't that great. I can then just restart and just turn on the light. It's a pretty good light. It's really bright. I always have it with me just in case I need to use it. Because it's better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. But yeah, the light's pretty good. That costs around £20. I find a lot of use out of it. It's really bright as well, so it can enhance the setting, and I'd say that it helps me because it can help me in case the lighting is poor. The views may be turned off by how poor the lighting is, and then not watch it. When having this can then help me increase the lighting and then be more appeal because they can actually see what's going on. That's really that's probably all the equipment. Traveling, I will have money in my Oyster card. That isn't an issue at all. The Roundhouse studio I'm planning to use for some of my interviews. That's £2 per hour. You need to be a member. I'm not a member, but my brother is. So he'll have to be there, and when I'm conducting interviews as well, so I'm able to get in. I could also get a lot of extra shots in the Roundhouse studio. I need to make sure I'm conscious of time and make sure I get everything I want in, but not rush it because I don't want to end too early and then have content I'm not fully pleased with. But I need to make sure I spread out time wisely and make sure I'm happy with all the footage I get and make sure that I don't rush it all towards the end if I was to mess around at the start. So yeah, I could get a lot out of the Roundhouse studio because I could get a lot of great additional shots with John in the booth or playing around with the music or just sitting on the sofa or stuff like that. So I could get a lot out of there. I just need to be conscious of time and not waste time, and make sure I've planned it really well on what I'm gonna say, so I don't ask too many questions and not have enough time. So yeah, I just need to make sure that I'm conscious of time, which I think I will be, and make sure I planned out really well for the day. Um, I think that's really it with budget. There's not much else to go into because I already have all the equipment. I don't need to worry about buying anything or borrowing anything. I'm happy with all the equipment. I think it's at a good enough level to produce something really good. Um, I've already had a thought process of the Roundhouse Studio, um, and I know my brother can easily get in contact with them as well. So that isn't really an issue. And then traveling isn't much of an issue, um, because it's only around. I'd say it's only around probably putting £10 on my Oyster card, which isn't that bad because it can then be in any emergency. If I need to then interview someone, I could still have enough money on my Oyster to then interview someone else if I need to travel somewhere by train. But I could also travel by bus, which doesn't really cost money. But yeah, I'd say that I'm pretty happy with everything and that I haven't got a set budget, but that's only because I've already had all the equipment. But I'm happy with everything and that going into the production that there's no really cause of concern. The only issue that would be would in case anything breaks, but I could always use the equipment at school. But then it's such a roadblock of making sure that I get the equipment I need, and make sure that no one else essentially gets it before me, and then have issues with saying, "Oh, I need that camera, but it's gone out." But I guess I'll just have to take that head on if that comes around. But hopefully it won't.